Hello, welcome back to the Good, the Bad and Stupid News. It's Wednesday the 31st of July. I've got loads to go through here. I think these videos are getting longer than I anticipated. I've got more to say than I thought I would, so I'll try and get through them as quickly as possible. So we're going to crack straight on with a photograph of Boris Johnson stroking a chicken. There you go. Looks the part there, doesn't he? He's trying to alleviate farmers' fears of a no-deal egg shit or Brexit because they're shitting themselves over, as everybody else is, but they're going to be subsidised. I don't think many other people will be, but farmers always, they're all heavily subsidised anyway, aren't they? Because there's fucking very, very little profit left for the work they do, so they have to be subsidised, I think. Anyway, so they were squeezed to ship all the big supermarkets, didn't they? So, yeah, so that's that. Whereas on the other hand, Jeremy Corbyn is visiting fracking sites and he's planning that, well, he suggested that he will be banning fracking if he gets in, which is a good thing because fracking shit for everybody who lives in that environment anyway, and it fucks up, causes earthquakes, and it's a dangerous way of getting, for gas. But now everybody's turning to wind farms and shit like that. There's built wind farms not far from here now, and that funds the whole city as far as in Brighton. They fund the whole. They're supposed to be, bringing up enough energy to do the whole city. So you could do that everywhere, really. You don't really need to do fracking, do you? There's loads of other ways of creating energy and stuff like that. They're just not chucking money out. They're going for the easy option or fucking the big bucks. So somebody's lying in somebody's pockets to get them allowed to do it because nobody wants the fracking apart from the frackers and the government. So somebody's being paid. Gotta be. Alistair Campbell said he doesn't want to join the Labour Party again under Jeremy Corbyn because he doesn't represent his values and hopes for Britain. And then nobody cared. So, he's talking to himself really because he's already been booted out, hasn't he? So he's just trying to make a point when nobody's actually listening. So never mind. Moving on. This is one. Lyme disease is on the rise. Lyme disease. I didn't even know what Lyme disease was until recently, and it's saying here Lyme disease you can get from bugs or ticks actually in the grass or in many parts of England, even parks and whatever. Lots of people in Richmond Park and stuff like that, and you get bit by these ticks and they create these bullseye style warts or whatever coming on your legs, and you've got it for life, and it's like causes all kinds of symptoms. Like this woman's got it, and she's got symptoms like feeling extremely tired, bad temperature, like flu-like symptoms, and on and on. And this can come on regularly for the whole rest of your life. So fucking Lyme disease. But what made me panic is I was running the other day, running over to the park, and first of all I tripped over and I skidded on the bloody tarmac right in front of rush hour traffic, and it doesn't look too bad now, but I've done that and on both my knees, and there was fucking blood everywhere. But I jumped straight up and just carried on as normal. But really, I ran around the corner. I was like fucking screaming. But I ran to the park, and I was going on like these exercise things around the park. But while I was around there, obviously blood was still coming out of my thing, and blood was coming out of my knees, and I was using these exercise things, and I was like attacked by fucking things started biting me. I think they just must have smelt the blood or whatever, but these flying little insects or whatever came over and started biting all my legs. It was like some kind of flying piranha attack. They smelled the blood and like fucking came out, it was after me. But then I got all these bites and that all up my legs, and then all of a sudden I read this about Lyme disease, and I'm like, shit, I don't know what I was being bit by, but I'm off to the docs tomorrow to double check. I want to make sure because apparently you're meant to take antibiotics ASAP, but this happened like a few days ago, so if they were, they didn't look like ticks, but I don't know what a tick particularly looks like. I mean, I think they're what I imagine a tick looks like. They didn't look like. I'm not sure if ticks fly either. So there you go. I'm not no David Attenborough, but yeah, I'm checking it out anyway because fucking hopefully I haven't got Lyme disease. You'll be seeing less of these videos if I have, that's for sure. Anyway, moving on. This one, pervy blind fitter, sex act seen on a home CCTV. Got to be careful these days, even if you are a pervert. There's a guy who came around to fit the blinds in somebody's house. They left him in the house. So they trusted you, or trusted him, to carry on whilst they go out. And his light started going through the fucking the underwear drawer and everything like that. The shop woman was at a funeral, so she had to go. Obviously, you can't just go, oh fucking go stick around. The blind man's coming. But she's gone to a funeral, and then they've got a CCTV, which is most people have now, haven't they? CCTV all around the house or whatever. You wouldn't think to have to use it, but maybe they did. Maybe they've read the story that I read a few weeks ago when somebody was going through fucking chucking somebody's sex toys around. So you think if you're going to leave somebody in your house, you might just click it on just to double check, you know what I mean? But anyway, he's going through the knicker drawer and fucking giving himself one whilst away at this funeral. So embarrassing for him because I don't know if he's got the sack, but the company have refunded them their money as well as giving the blinds. So I can't imagine that he's still in a job unless he owns the company and then carry on, doesn't he? But I don't know why they haven't shown his face in the paper. They've just cut out his face. They should have named and shamed him. Did they actually give his name? They have. Yeah, there we go. His name is partially clad handyman Matthew Blythe, 50 years old. Matthew Blythe, named and shamed, right here. Nobody's listening though, so don't worry. But if anybody does catch on, where's he from? Don't know, I haven't got time to check, so you got away with that. Matthew Blythe from somewhere in the country. Blind fitter, if you know him, he's a pervert. A pensioner has been arrested for the murder of his wife after human remains were found in a septic tank. His old septic tank at his old house or something or other. Why didn't they check? His wife disappeared. They didn't do things very thoroughly in the old days, did they? 1982, he just told the police that she disappeared. I just woke up to find that she'd gone one day. She's never done anything like that before, and I haven't the faintest idea what has happened to her. This today would be like warning signs, ding dong, and you fucking double check everything first, wouldn't they? And I imagine checking a septic tank would be fucking right high on the list if you're doing that. You know, it's way before even digging up any patios and that, isn't it? But she just disappeared and everyone's gone, all right, no worries. But if she turns up, let us know. Otherwise, carry on for the next 30 years regardless. But he's a wound. I thought he got away with that. If he has, I mean, I don't know if he hasn't been charged guilty yet, but it's his septic tank, it's his wife, and he's a bit odd apparently, according to neighbours and stuff like that. So maybe he did do it. Tele-architect George Clark has warned that the housing crisis is driving Brits to suicide. Oh, this is a depressing story, I guess, but still, it has to be said, doesn't it? And it's true. Well, he's like the ambassador for the homeless charity Shelter for 12 years. Homeless charity. So, of course, it's driving people to suicide. People haven't got fucking homes. They've got nowhere to stay. They're sleeping in shop doorways. People are killing themselves or dying of drugs because they have to get through the night. Can you imagine sleeping on the street in a shop doorway? I tell you what, you take fucking heroin and shit like that because it makes you. Why are you gonna? How's somebody not gonna take heroin if it makes them feel like they're sleeping in a bed of roses instead of fucking lying in a, piss covered back alleyway or shop doorway? So yeah, people without houses are suicide or killing themselves or doing things that lead to death, heroin and whatever else. So not enough houses for the poor. But what fucking winds me up with that is there's homeless people, there's a homeless crisis, yet there's billionaires in the world. There's people without nowhere to go, sleeping shop doorways, yet there's billionaires in the country. It's quite fucking simple, you know what I mean? It's billionaires. If you're a billionaire, for my mind, you should be given one of the social ills, you know what I mean? If you're a billionaire, what you deal with, your job is homelessness. If you become a billionaire, then you've got all the extra money. We'll give you tax breaks, but use what you would pay in tax on, you deal with homelessness, or you take 50 people and put them in fucking houses or something like that. It's simple. It's so easy to fix them problems, or it's, you know, it comes down to money, but go to the people with money and give it to... I tell you what, don't get me started, we can talk about that all day long, but anyone who wants to pick me up on that, I'll tell you how to fucking fix the problems, no problem. You know, I should be an MP one of these days. Emmerdale, moving on from one thing, totally juxtaposed here. Emmerdale star, well, let's not call him a star, he's in Emmerdale, so not really a star, is it? But Emmerdale actor, Mark Jordan, I don't watch it, so I don't know who he is. Bit a pensioner's face, a jury was told. When the Dale Star was off his head on coke. Just someone's dobbing him in. I don't know he's off his head on coke. Because one of his mates has fucking sold the story or something, didn't they? Andrew Potts, 68, the alleged... Oh, there we go. Andrew Potts, the guy who was attacked. Testing for coke, he's off his head. They said, we can't... And the police said, we can't test him for coke because he wasn't driving. But you can test him for coke if you're arresting him, surely. We can test him for... No, can you not? Or you can search him. But if someone's clearly off the... I mean, I don't know what the deal is with that is then. They can search you, and if they find something on you, then you can get done. But so they can't test you for coke unless you've been driving. So you can be way, way off your head. So there you go. Swallow your drugs if you ever get nicked, because apparently they can't test you. But anyway, he bit somebody. I can't be bothered to get into the argument. I'm not really that bothered about Emmerdale stars, Emmerdale cokeheads. Michael Schumacher's improving. That's a good thing. Michael Schumacher has shown signs of improvement. Way off ever being 100%, but fucking from the position he's been in to show improvements is a good thing. Apparently he's been watching the Formula One with his old boss, somebody, Todd, I can't remember his name, but yeah, that's such a sad situation. But that actually makes you think, doesn't it? It makes you think that how, you know, he's got everything, he had everything, or has everything still. He's you know, multi-rich, multi-millionaire, top of everything. You know, it's fucking right up there, icon to loads of people. All of a sudden, skiing accident, not going very fast apparently, but lands his head on, or freak accident, smashes your head, and look where you could be. You know, it's just it makes your eyes open, or opens your eyes to what's, you know, trivial fucking moaning in the world, isn't it? Or about trivial things, when something can go, if something can happen like that to, my point is, something can happen like that to somebody like him, it can happen to anybody, and you just got to take every day that everything's fine as a fucking bonus, because you never know what's around the corner. You got to be careful and everything, but you can't just not go skiing because Michael Schumacher, because apparently he wasn't even moving. You know, you'd think, oh, he was fucking bombing it down the hill, weren't he? Bombing it and like smashed into a mountain, which is bad, but you know, that's what you can imagine. But apparently he wasn't even moving very fast. He just tripped over, and it can happen to anybody. So anyway, I'm rambling on that one a little bit, but good to hear that he's showing signs of recovery anyway, because it's a horrible situation to be in. What's it called? The premiere of the premiere of, well, the good, the bad, and the stupid news. I was going to say then, the premiere of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's new film, is on in London's Leicester Square. Last night it was, yeah, so yeah, I still haven't caught up on his last. There's a couple of films I haven't even watched of his last ones yet. I keep meaning to, but the one I haven't seen, was it The Hateful Eight? 2.5 hours long, and I've never got round to having time to sit down and watch it. I'll have to watch it over 3 times or something, over 3 days or something. But yeah, but this looks a good film. But it's got was it Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt in it? What I thought was, I mean, they all look pretty fucking cool there, don't they? But Brad Pitt is looking the bee's knees, I would say. You know, he's looking fucking pretty suave and pretty hot. And he's apparently 55, but just goes to show what a bit of money and a bit of fame can do for you. There's a lot of 55-year-olds who look a lot shitter than that. No, but I mean, he was just looking pretty cool, I thought. You know. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, I'd like to watch the film. So I haven't been to the cinema for a while, but I'd like to go and watch that maybe. I'd like to see the Bruce Lee character that's in it. Lyme disease, well, done that one. What's this? Dwayne the Rock Johnson has revealed he drinks 4 US-sized gallons of water each day, which is the equivalent of 27 pints. That's a ridiculous amount of water. Perhaps it's just water for those big arms of his. I pulled that out because I was never ever sure of what a gallon. I don't understand gallons. So I'm trying to figure it out here. I'm going to do it on camera. A gallon, if 4 gallons is 27 pints, let's say that's 28 pints. That means a gallon is the equivalent of a quarter of that, which is 7 pints. So a gallon is roughly around 7 pints. And a quart, I keep seeing these quarts measurements. Drink a quart of water, I keep seeing. So a quart is a quarter of a gallon, a quarter of 7 pints, that's about 2 pints. Fuck knows. Don't know what it is. Gallons, forget them. I don't know, we're dealing litres and millilitres like we do over here. Burglars are revealing the best place to hide your belongings. Some ex-burglars have revealed when you go on holiday where the best places to hide stuff, and the places where you would normally, I thought actually, where they would normally hide. It's nice of them, isn't it? These are one of the nice burglars. You know, some burglars come in and fucking shit on your sofa and cause a right old mess, don't they? These ones are obviously, you know, going. What you should do, instead of don't hide your stuff in the cupboard or in the pots and pans. We look in those places. Don't hide anything in the, you know, utility drawers. We look in there. Best place is to hide them, or main best place is to hide them in the children's toy box, because it's an unwritten rule for burglars not to go in to the kid's bedroom. So there you go. If you're going to hide anything, but now the opposite's going to be, because they'll be going, hang on, we just told everybody to fucking hide anything in the kid's toy box. Could be a ploy for them to go and have a look in the kid's toy box and go, look, they fucking stuck everything in there. So you just literally loaded it all up for them. So just take the chest out then. Well, only 10% of Brits have planned a funeral and half have not written a will. Well, that's right. It's depressing, isn't it? Who wants to plan their own funeral? It's a bit fucking, you know. I imagine not many people want to even think about that. That's something that you leave to the people who are left behind. And if anybody in my family, I don't want a funeral. So just, what's it called? Cremate and chuck the ashes away somewhere. But no funeral. Therefore, I don't have to plan it, do I? So there you go. That's the way. Jamie Oliver says he'll never be caught cheating on his wife or snorting coke. The Naked Chef opened up on his prospect of straying. He said, I can assure you that Coquito has always stayed well within the boundaries of my trousers. Coquito. That's his name for his... I think I've been a good boy. I do like a drink. I'm not a pisshead. I'm blessed with the ability to have a night where I can let my hair down and let myself down disgracefully. This doesn't end up with me with somebody's wife and putting a load of Charlie up my nose. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. I was all wondering, Jamie, so, or maybe that's just a ploy to cover up something that's happened. People are ordering, Domino's are now doing catering for weddings, so Domino's pizzas you can have as a spread at your wedding. Chav's wedding, that is, isn't it? If you're going to have Domino's pizzas at your wedding, that's a Chav's wedding. Or low key. Or, you know, you can't have the full bells and whistles of a wedding and then order Domino's pizzas, can you? You go one or the other. Have a low key registry office, you know, trip to the pub and then order pizzas. That's alright. You can't like fucking order Domino's pizza to like a you know, plush. Everyone's all dressed up, all smart and everything like that. You know, that's a bit chavvy. It's like these people who do Valentine's in a Greggs or something like that. You know, it's fucking. Oh well, that was embarrassing. The what's it called? The storage ran out on my recording, so I'm having to blend these back. So I'm going to carry on as we were. Imagine nothing happened, and try and pick up where we left off. A guy has been sent to prison for 50 minutes for smashing his girlfriend's window. He was sent to prison for 50 minutes with a pen and paper and told to write an apology. That's old school, isn't it? And he was also given 80 hours unpaid work, but he smashed his girlfriend. He told his girlfriend, told his girlfriend he was going to brick the window. He later returned and smashed it with a broom. Sounds like a crime of passion there, jilted, and you know, it's not that bad, is it? He smashed the window, regrets it, and he's wrote an apology. You shouldn't really go to prison for smashing a window anyway, should you? So, prison's a little bit... Oh, is that on his record? Been sent to prison for smashing a window. Bit over the top. Should just done the 80 hours community service. Anyway, Britain's first prostitute-free zone using public space protection orders is being set up. Curb crawlers trying to buy sex will be slapped with £100 fine on the spot. If they refuse to pay up, they can be taken to court. And that's quite embarrassing anyway. But they're prostitute-free zones, so they're going to be in the wealthy areas. So imagine if you're in one of the poorer areas, imagine the prostitute unfree zone to be heading near you anytime soon. Unless they do it across the board everywhere. Just have to legalise it, won't they? What's this one? Quote of the day. Rupert Everett has said, "I think people who say they have no regrets are a bit wacky. There are so many things to regret." There you go. He's being saying a bit blunt there, isn't he? It's true. I suppose it's true to a degree. But I think the point of that, there are no regrets, for me anyway, is that you have no regrets in the sense that if something bad happens and something good follows, all the good stuff that comes afterwards kind of come not as a result of the bad thing, but you know, if you ended up in a good place, then the bad things that happened along the way kind of put you in the good place anyway. So that's for me where you would say no regrets. You could have your little pitfalls and rocky situations along the way, but if you end up in a good place, then no regrets. If you end up in a shit place, then, you know, dwell on your regrets. Well, I guess, you know, got to try and well, it's all about where you end up, isn't it? Anyway, that's me being philosophical. Gang warfare in jail leaves... This is a fucking dark place to be. I wouldn't want to be in here. Gang warfare in jail leaves 57 dead with 16 beheaded in a Brazilian jail. A prison riot left 57 prisoners dead, 16 decapitated, many asphyxiated in a settling of accounts between rival crime gangs. I thought that was in England at first. I thought, fucking hell, it's a bit heavy. You know, I know they said the prison system was a bit fucked, but that is like on top. But this is in Brazil. Everything's like a lot. I don't think we wouldn't stand a chance. We wouldn't stand a chance in a Brazilian prison. They like fucking run it like themselves. I think the prison guards don't even go in there, do they? They just lock the door and leave them to attack each other. Apparently video footage shows inmates kicking severed heads around like footballs on the prison roof. So I don't know if they're doing that as leisure time or whatever else, but some people have ended up as, you know, as fucking footballs to kick about. Anyway, yeah, fucking grim place. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that. So I'll be behaving myself if I ever go to Brazil. That's for sure. What's that one? Don't know. Can't read that because I've cut the title off. One in four single men who has a cat say their pets keeps the pressure off them finding a partner, as they are such good company. Yeah, and the cat shit behind the sofa don't help either, I imagine. Cats are quite easy to look after though, aren't they? Cats pretty much look after themselves. You just got to be, if you've got to train them. I've been in houses where there's fucking cat shit. I mean, not too many, you know, but you know, people who don't train their pets properly is what I'm trying to say. It takes 3 days for life to get back to normal after a holiday, says a study. Our sleep is disturbed for 2 nights and it's hard to readjust to routines. That's because everyone's depressed, getting back to shit work or whatever after having such a great holiday. That's why you're trying to get your head back into. Once you leave the rat race, you just go. You know, you realise. You know, you've been. When you step out of it, you realise fucking hell. There's a whole world of excitement and enjoyment out here. All of a sudden, you've got to go back to that, and you're like, oh God. That's what I feel when I come back off on holiday, anyway. Mini bottles and toiletries, mini bottles of shampoos and stuff being scrapped from the intercontinental hotels. 843,000 rooms they've got just in that one name of hotels, just in that one brand. 843 rooms, so that's a lot of plastic bottles just fucking now. Imagine how many plastic bottles per day, changing every day, going in there, didn't they? So that's a good step. Hopefully everybody else follows suit. I'm going to do that one. Richard Branson says Richard Branson's been slammed for claiming stuff doesn't make you happy. Britain's 34th richest person said that possessions of wealth are meaningless compared to love. The Virgin tycoon, who is worth $4 billion, wrote on Twitter, "I truly believe that stuff really does not bring happiness." And he said, "Family, friends, good health, and the satisfaction that comes from making a positive difference are what really matters." That's true, and that's true. You know, whoever says it, but unfortunately, you're the wrong person to say it, because you know nobody's going to take that kind of a statement from a billionaire, and especially a billionaire, as I said earlier on, who don't do fuck all for the society. Who's he helping? He could step in and do the homeless thing. If he's got $4 billion, that wouldn't even touch his money, and they would still have fucking more interest to do the same thing the next year. But they don't, do they? So, you know, nobody's going to take that kind of statement from Richard Branson. And Jeremy Corbyn called him out and said that, well, why don't you give us back the money that you sued from the NHS then? So, you know, I kind of like Richard Branson in one way, but I don't like the fact that he sued why sue the fucking NHS? If you have £4 billion, you don't need to sue the NHS. You could just say, I'll sue other companies who have dealings with, but you don't sue the NHS, do you? You just give that one a miss. So, anyway, he got drilled on Twitter and wherever else, so serves him right, doesn't it? Not doing himself any favours. Right, going to finish up now on Ross Kemp is going to become a comedian. He said after years of doing the Ross Kemp on gangs, he now wants a lighter role, and he's going to turn his hand to telling jokes. So I don't know. Is that going to be funny? I don't know. As long as he's not telling jokes about some of his stuff that he's been to on these. I actually like Ross Kemp. I like them programs. Dark. He's been in some fucking dark situations. Must have many a nightmare or many a thought. But somebody's got to do it, and he highlights quite a lot of bad situations around the world that you wouldn't even know existed, does it? But yeah, so he's turning his hand to telling jokes and one-liners now. So, but you got to, why not? As long as you're funny. Right, okay, I'm getting tired now. It's a long video. Last one, we're going to show you a picture of a dog that the puppy has been found and named Salvador Dali because she looks like the artist Salvador Dali. And it's a black-mouthed dog that was found in a street in Dallas. Now, that's the picture of the dog. You see that? It's got like a moustache type thing, isn't it? I don't know why anybody didn't call it. Is obviously it's been found in Dallas. That's not far from the Mexican border. To me, it looks like a Mexican, but nobody's saying he's like done a runner across the border, does he? Because he looks more like a Mexican to me than Salvador Dali. Cute little dog, anyway. So and everybody's following him, and they've all got a moustache on to match. Yeah, but yeah. So I think he's done a runner across from Mexico and. Found himself in Dallas. So that's all we've got time for today. So thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully. See you later. Bye.